Welcome everybody to another F1 2013 career video. Doing a little voiceover for my qualifying lap to see. Maybe you guys like it, maybe you don't. Why not? Let's try it out. We're of course here in the Marina Bay Circuit as I prepare to start my hot lap into Q3. First two qualifyings were in the wet, but I survived those with a dry setup. And here we go, on my way to corner number 1. DRS open a little bit late. I keep forgetting that's actually DRS zone. Got the first couple of corners quite nicely. Easy on the throttle out of this corner. As I prepare the entry for the longest straight and second DRS zone on this track. Almost into the barriers using my majority of curves as I zip on to a 90-degree left-hander here. Catch a little bit of the curb on the exit to help straighten out the car. Back down the first gear and at a tricky little mid-sector. I slowly third gear left-hander onto what used to be called the Singapore Sling. Maybe we still call it that. I don't really know. Third gear corner as I back down to second. Use all the curves as maximally as I can. Try to keep at least one side of the car on track. And into the hairpin, getting on the back straight. Actually using too much curve. Can't throw my car back around, but it didn't happen. Using the rest of my curves. Zipping down to the end of sector 2 and into sector 3. And I missed the braking a little bit, having to go down the first gear. So hopefully that didn't cost me too much time, and I clipped the barrier a few times as well. So not a super clean lap. The only lap I had to do into the tricky and slippery little bridge here, or overpass, underpass I should say, to the grandstand. Another little scraping of the barriers, going a bit wide into this one, and on my way to the last corner. Like I said, I only did one lap since I sort of made a big mistake on my in-lap, crashing into the wall, and that cost too much time to repair the car. But it's a 1:41.647. Is it enough for pole position? Let's see in a moment. Yes, it is. Pole position with my teammate right behind me, so a Mercedes front row lockout. So even the gap with those mistakes, the gap is still half a second, which is bigger than I expected and should bode well for the race. So let's see you guys there. Alright, welcome back everybody. It's time to race now. Here as I step into my car on the Singapore Street Circuit, or Marina Bay Street Circuit. To be a bit more precise, his hands just went through the cockpit, that must have hurt. So as you've seen from the hard lap, I've qualified in pole position.
Looks like there's a technical issue with the new part. We'll need more time to amend this. You should have the new part in 2 races time.
I more or less expected that. So 31 lap race. Yeah, this seems probably the safest way to go. I might be able to do 2 option stints and a prime, or option prime option, since the primes are supposed to last for 19 laps. Now that's probably not gonna happen. What I can do, of course, it's what did it do actually here? It's order. All right, so it does 14. What was it? 14. Jesus Christ, my math sucks. Ay, ay, ay. 12 laps. Should be able to push for more. 13, 14, 16. It's probably not worth risking his tire wear. Can be pretty heavy here. So let's reset it actually and put that into lap 5, because I expect the options to wear off quite heavily. And there you go. So let's have a rundown of the entire grid. Myself in pole position, my teammate in second, Vettel third, Alonso fourth, Webber fifth, Massa, Raikkonen, Grosjean, Hülkenberg, Button, Perez, Sutil, Di Resta, Ricciardo, Maldonado, Bottas, Verne, Bianchi, Pick, Chilton, Van der Garde, and whoa, what happened to Gutierrez? Was all the way at the back, so not doing a very good job at replacing me at Sauber. He should have gone with Hamilton. got fired from Mercedes as I switched over. So, teammates, a Mercedes front row lockout. Yeah, the first two sessions of the qualifying were wet. I managed to do better than I expected on the intermediate tires, actually topping the time sheets on the Q2 actually. And even now also have a second quicker. So it is a difficult track though. I haven't done much, or actually haven't done any heavy fuel testing at all, like I usually go for. So the car might disappoint, but I've got a pretty high wing setup. It's a 5.4 wing. I think I should be pretty decent.
The boss wants another podium finish this weekend. Come on, we know you can do it.
See if you can get a good start. Mercedes is leading out of the first corner. Oh, got this gear too far away. Right to start on the options. And I'm sliding a lot. Car just slipped through that corner. I mean, unfortunately in this game the wheel doesn't give you a whole lot of feedback. Fortunately, it's also a street circuit. To be very braking, very easy on the braking. Sorry. Very hard to talk and concentrate.
Perez has just posted the fastest lap so far.
grip is starting to come into the track a little bit now. Ooh. Not everywhere yet.
Vettel should be stopping for tyres in 3 laps' time.
It's not too much. No first lap drama, everybody's still in contention. I'm just trying to stay out of trouble. I haven't used any prime tyres, so they're all clean because of the wet weather. Due some wing damage, I only used this set of option tyres.
The pit crew are ready for you at the end of this lap. Pit this lap.
I'm taking a bit of a risk with pitting a lap early. But I don't want to slam into the wall. Behind me, but not close enough. Ruben really wants to step out on me every time. So like single player arrives, the track actually needs to rubber in. Right, unlike a lot of multiplayer guys, I don't take the arsehole way into the pit lane. Which apparently you can do quite easily. I'm gonna come out behind the pack, which is gonna be a bit of annoying.
Curves on exit, we're racing on the way out.
No, not really. I'm gonna end up in a nicely clear patch. I hope, come on, get out of these slower
The
cars.
track is clear. Track is clear. You're on the prime tyres. Only one stop to go. Be aware, we think the car behind is trying to save fuel.
I can come out ahead of them again.
The car behind is running on the option tyre. They have the advantage.
Ooh. Contact there. Cramp
The
in my
car ahead
braking
is
foot.
3 seconds up on you.
They are. They don't do well so close together.
There are quite a few cars in the pits right now. Watch out for cars exiting the pits. Deco's directly ahead of you.
Right, so it didn't work. I was held up a lot by those slower cars, but so is Rosberg. Oh my god. That could have ended horribly for me. Sure he what he was doing. He's got no grip whatsoever, team. Something happened behind me. Oh, it's a bit dodgy. On the outside, Rosberg very, very careful. They're very easy on the brakes, the team. And now Massa has managed to wedge himself between me and Rosberg. So the AI cars are sort of handing this race towards me at the moment. Ooh, Rosberg had a moment. Sittel's now up to third. Almost had a meeting with the wall. probably had a moment
You
trying
have a
to
2
take
second
Felipe.
gap to the car behind. We need to keep it clean so he doesn't get a chance to overtake. The car behind is on standard reds. Car behind is running standard reds. Nice driving. That was the fastest lap
What
of the
the
race.
hell happened to Rosberg? This race might do me very well for the championship.
Watch out for the car behind. He's only 2 seconds down on you. He might try and overtake if you make a mistake.
That's a tunnel sandbug again. Rosberg is now back into fourth. I'm in the lead of this race, but I'm definitely not secure.
trying to save fuel.
I can win from them in the first sector.
At the moment, the gap between you and the car behind is 3 seconds.
been different if Vettel was the one in front. But he's not. Whoa. 3/10 on me back again. Small margin.
Master's losing a small amount of time to you each lap.
Alright. Surprised Sito holding up so well. I figured Rosberg would be all over him. Oof, no damage. Lucky there.
Has just put up the fastest lap of the race so far.
Good for him.
You currently have a 3-second gap between you and the car behind. 3 seconds.
To burp that, sorry. The mic didn't catch that. So I win 3/10s in sector 1, I lose those 3/10s in sector 2. And if I'm lucky and do this sector right, I gain a few tenths more. Probably not.
Ferrari getting ready for a pit stop. We think it's
half a second actually.
He should be pitting within the next few laps.
Seems Nico is actually losing to Sutil. Sutil is matching a 10th there. Still a slippery track. As soon as you go offline, that is.
Be aware, we think the car behind is trying to save fuel.
Sort of really matching lap times here. Saving grace that they're sort of pussies in that last corner. This car is already losing grip.
to keep up the pace. The gap to the car behind is 4 seconds.
Or at least trying to get to lap 17. I would have done 11. Probably 18. I guess Rosberg has his hands full on whoever is behind him. Losing to Massa, 310s. Car's becoming tricky to drive again.
By our calculations, Massa should be stopping for new tyres within the next 5 laps. Massa into the pits in the next 5 laps.
Okay, 2 more tenths again. As far as the overall gap, it's still around 3.6 seconds if I check the start finish line each time. Mainly suffering in this sector.
Separates us from the car behind. 4 seconds.
So it seems Massa's losing grip as well.
Traffic ahead, stay alert.
Right, half distance. Rosberg 6 seconds.
Right behind you. 5 seconds separate you. Keep pushing.
Tyre wear looks okay. The boys at play. Oh my god, they're fighting with Webber. What the hell is Webber doing in 20th? He is having a horrid day. He's having a Webber day, it seems. Still gaining on Massa even with that traffic. And again, that didn't really bother me that much. No, I can't look at that.
The gap to the car behind is 6 seconds. 6 seconds.
Ooh. Yeah. While I have this safety margin, I'm best to stay out until my planned pit stop.
Stopping this lap.
Two. What's that? What have you got?
Massa's right behind you. 5 seconds separate you. Keep pushing.
We gained a tenth in that in the first sector. Here is where I'm really losing it. Gently throttling my way through that section for sure.
You need to pit in this lap.
Actually 4 tenths quicker than my previous. That's a good sign. I only lost a tenth in that sector. That's good. It seems to be closer to Massa now as well. Senior driver could really up for a smashing result. Again, seems I'm the only one with a planned pit stop at this stage of the race, which hopefully might bite me in the arse, since they might be going for an option stint at the end.
Release.
I doubt it. Oh, no, there you go. At least, you know, I won't have a lap of the race.
There's some traffic at the pit exit. Watch out as you rejoin the track.
So be very careful.
You have no more scheduled pit stops, so look after your tyres.
Alright. It's a win it. It's easy enough to end up in a war here. held up a little bit. Seems they're on the pits now. Seems I won that battle.
DRS is offline. We're currently looking into the problem.
That's no issue for me. I have no need of DRS, there's no one around me. So in theory, it shouldn't be too hard for Rosberg to like blast past 6 of the DRS. You'd think, anyway. Seems Alonso's caught up to Rosberg's group. No idea what the current fastest lap is even. The braking.
DRS is now fixed and available to use.
Available to use, huh? Alonso's 7th. It's good, so not too many points. Because if I am ever able to catch him, I need to gain a hell of a lot of points. It'd be nice if either him or Fatso had a DNF. That would be a straight 25 point gain. An approximate 75 point gap. Wall scraper, no damage. fuel left, but gap to Massa floating around 11 seconds still. Car hooked up on the curb. Wasn't eager to let go. Half a second lost there immediately, but just about anyway. And again, I've got a pretty good safety margin. Chilton ahead of me in 19th. Is that ever used for DRS after all? Can't really, if you look at the lap times. And 1-1, the gap still. Oh god. Starting to lose concentration here towards these final stage of the race. Six tenths there. Over a 10-second gap. Massa pulling away from Sutil. Sutil on for the race of his life. Alonso bumped up to 6. Grosjean now in 4. So Grosjean passed Rosberg. This means Alonso is now behind Rosberg. Rosberg has a bit of a gap, so Vettel's even further behind Alonso still, if I am correct, so that will be very nice. Grosjean is even able to it's probably Bianchi. I think Massa and me are pretty much locked in place. Sutil might be 2, because I think Grosjean is in quite a bit of ways behind him. .5. So as long as I avoid mistakes, I can keep the gap level. Nice thing as the back end steps out of me again. Bianchi goes out of the way, give me plenty of room.
You're dropping time to Massa, a small amount each lap.
Let's say that, 10.8. Massa's gap towards Sutil getting bigger as well. 6th lap left. The echo sound again. Happens every so often. usually gone when you hit the next tunnel, which would be like the little under the grandstands. This is where I think I made it most of the time. Driving bloody well consistent. Look at these sector times. Quite amazing. Oh. Quite amazing, considering how I usually drive.
You're coming up on a group of slow-moving cars. Try to pass them quickly.
Whoa! 12.8. Let's have some traffic issues. There's a catering again. And Weber again, I think. Actually, I've left them twice this race. See, look at that, Weber has got no rear grip. Oh, and he just gets nabbed by the Caterham as well, putting him in last place. Well, at least my fellow Dutchman Guido can say, I finished. Kind of bummer. Lost a second, of course, there due to the traffic. Gap still 12 seconds. Nothing at the worry. Can't afford to pit, that's for sure.
There's a 12-second gap to the car behind.
Yeah. Rosberg is ahead of Alonso. Small gap for him. Surprised that Weber's car isn't even able to just pull away. So Oof. 4.3. Got stabilized again. never enough full throttling, or I'm not full throttling to that section either. God. Just bring it down, bring it down. The car is slippery. Thinking what would have happened if I went for a 3-stopper. Throwing in an extra so 2 options in. My consistency dropping now. Last few laps.
You're losing a small amount of time to the car behind. Keep pushing.
Oh, look at the gap between Rosberg and Alonso all of a sudden. Alonso dropped way the hell back. And someone's out of the race. Oh my god. And that was always my race at the end there. So whatever happened probably while Alonso was at. Which is nice to know. Probably Vettel, I'm sure Vettel's in the points, but if they're both outside the points, Alonso's gone! Alonso had a moment, probably running with the back marker. So the championship leader is out of the race. Well, it means likely if Vettel's in the points, he will gain the lead again. Because there's only a small gap between those two.
Like this is going to be your finishing position, so let's make sure to keep it clean and bring the car home safely.
Alonso's back in 4th. No, Alonso's still there in 17th apparently. But that's probably only because he left the other guys as well. Which means he will lose that place. And most likely be listed as DNF. Car control.
You have a 12-second gap to the car behind.
Quite rapidly now. I can afford to drop my pace down if need be. Rosberg into 3rd place! No, unfortunately Sutil could not keep it up for the race. Rosberg has got himself back on the podium. Of course, there's no way in hell he's ever going to catch Massa. Recovery from Rosberg. I hope Sutil doesn't drop too far back. It'll be a shame for him. Ooh.
There's enough fuel to run in high mix mode if you feel you need it.
Yeah, I don't need it. Look at that, 148. My tires are not happy. Got to mix the lean so I don't fly out so much. Even that with all the tyre wear. Of course, Massa is experiencing the same thing. They're not losing too much. Looking at the mini-map, it seems that Rosberg doing away with Sutil or Grosjean maybe.
Vettel's just posted the fastest lap of the race.
I think Vettel's way outside the points as well. Who knows, Vettel and Alonso may have come together. That would be funny. So the race really gotten more or less secured after only the second pit stop. But definitely did not have a dominating pace today. But still victory in Singapore. Yes! Look, I'm celebrating there. That's a hat-trick. Alonso is indeed out of the race. Well down in 22nd. Nico Rosberg finishes in 3rd. There's are the results. Felipe Massa, great podium. Grosjean 4th, Sutil dropped back to 5th. Still a very good result. And only 1 point for Sebastian. That means he loses 24 points to me. This is fantastic for me in my run to see if I can catch these two in front of me in the standings before the end of the season. Romain Grosjean in 4th. Very good result for him. Still a good result for Sutil. Perez in 6th, Hülkenberg good result in 7th, then Jensen and Di Resta gets a point in 9th, and as I said earlier, Vettel is in 10th. Then it's Maldonado, Kimi, Daniel Ricciardo, Vern Gutierrez, and 15, then Bottas, Jules, Max, Guido, Charles, and Mark. He did finish basically dead last, so let's look at that start, because actually that was kind of entertaining, since I sort of... Well, it was a pretty aggressive overtake on the outside. Maybe I went a bit off track, but the game... Too much wheel spin, I guess. Tried to squeeze that out, but realized I move to the outside, just go for the ideal line. No, barely any contact. I did it actually quite cleanly. Maybe a slight tap. There it is. Oh, look at that. Slight contact. I think his front wing... Yeah, slightly tapped my front. And there you have it. But then no way was I ever dominating the opening stages of the race, since Rosberg there was with me the entire time until we started out in pit. I pit first. So there you go, that is your start. So let's see what that does for the Drivers' Championship.
Well done, really nice driving.
Thank you. Fernando still in first. Vettel only 3 points behind him with 202. I have gained up 25 points more or less to these guys. Now only 44 points behind. Nico is in solid 4th place. Felipe Massa is in 5th. Then it's Webber still in 6th. With behind him Kimi and Grosjean. And it's Jensen and Sergio. Hülkenberg is now out of the top 10, well and down. Sutil had a good race, so he jumped up for sure. Well, probably not too much, since they probably didn't have too many points to begin with, but Sutil is now a 12th place. Then the rest of Ricciardo, and of course all the non-point finishers. Gutierrez is actually almost caught Maldonado with getting better results. But they're both all well down. For the constructors, this means, look at that, Mercedes has now taken the top step, of course. And only 2nd place for Massa, but we had a 1st and 3rd place, so that's a lot of points for them. Only 7 points though, but there's still a lot of races to be had. And I think if Rosberg keeps also the scoring up, wrapping up the Constructors' Championship title shouldn't be too much of an issue there. So there you go. This is the most interesting thing. Only 44 points, so it's definitely doable to become champion in the coming what, 5 races it is, I think, still, probably, yeah, 5 races. So there you go, victory for Mercedes again. There you go. Look at that. Happy as you can be. Solid race on a tricky track. Massa, of course, so should be pleased with himself, having done quite well. There you go, continues winning form for the second race in succession. He's driving for winning a race in the rookie season. These are not quite actually score 3 in a row, but you know, whatever. Why is it all? I have no idea how this thing works. At least it's gained another level. 2 more contract offers. Sure. Yeah. No, thank you. Tony Fernandez, number 1 driver. Getting an offer from any team. I got... No, come on. Why would I... never mind. Reject it. Decline offer. So, 4th win of the season. Engineer's quite happy. Well-deserved 4th win, and 3 of them were for Mercedes. 1 with Sauber, which actually I remembered after the fact was of course Canada, which I won. Because my car and the Sauber worked really well for some reason. So these go. Fastest lap. Wow, look at that. That's a major difference, but it doesn't matter. There you go. So yeah, I'm probably not gonna win the qualifying battle. There are not enough races left, but that's fine by me. Still 4 to 5 win compared to Nico. Number 10, number 9. Yeah, whatever. So Yongam, it seems we have a clear weekend on Korea next time out. So navigate the calendar. So we've got Korea, Japan. I love Japan. It's a great track to race at. I think I can do very well. I have a very good setup on the league races, so it should be fine. I haven't really driven Korea much yet. India, of course, at a event there. Abu Dhabi, USA, not much track time there, and of course Brazil. Should be fun. Winning the championship with that result and them not scoring anything is great. Has been great. So see you guys next time. Bye bye.